Hey folks, welcome back to Black and White, here in Andella Town, and you may notice that it's a bit more lively than last time we were here. That's because we are now visiting during the summer, rather than any other season, and that changes the music, adds a bunch of people and activities, so generally the best time to visit. Anyway, regardless of season, you can get the HM06 from this girl, which contains Dive, and that allows you to dive underwater in a manner akin to the 3rd generation games, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And you can do some neat underwater exploration, but only in the area immediately surrounding Andella Town. It's not really a major mechanic in the game, and it would be kind of hard to make it major since it's a post-game and all that, but still, it's certainly cool in the way that it is used, but it isn't used very much. But on the flip side, it doesn't now say it's welcome, so I'm okay with it. Anyway, let's go and use your new ability. Head over to Andella Bay over here, and surf over to some dark spots of water. Like that. So there's really only one underwater area in the game, and it's this, the Abyssal Ruins. This place is pretty neat. Listen to King's words. Crimes lead to truth. King is brave. King never loses hope. King is kind. King has a dream. King is adventurous. King accepts all. King turns 2nd corner. King turns 3rd corner. King turns 5th corner. King turns 7th corner. Have the heart of King. Here we praise King. King's light shines. King moves his people. King acts with love. King fought hatred. No king is lost. Go on, brave King. Life is gratitude. Eating is receiving life. Good or evil isn't all. Do not be barbaric. You must not waste. All is precious. Wars create tears. Shine if agree. King talks to all beings. Save all from waves. King is hope for all. Think and act with love. Act strong if agreed. King defeated alone. Join King in the day. King called all beings. King is hope and future. The great King. So it is written on the walls of this place. I'm sure whoever translated this for Lillipup put a lot of work into it. It's a really convoluted system. You might get a kick out of it. Check out the Lillipup page. Anywho, now that we're out of there, head back over here, and you will find, way at the western edge, a large mansion, or cabana or something, I don't know what their technical term for it is. A villa, that's what they're calling it. Okay, sure. Anyway, this guy is the main attraction here. He will buy all your relic items for extremely high prices. Seriously, check out how much money he gives. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And then you can also sell your lesser prizes for a still decent amount of money. Unfortunately, they are one-time items, so you can't go back and grab more and have an infinite supply of money. But, you know, you probably won't need to. There's a lot of money here. It's ridiculous. Anywho, that takes care of selling those prizes. You can go back for more if you so desire, but I feel like there's not much to spend money on. So now let's spend a bit of time exploring Andella Town and the rest of its attractions. Most of its attractions are really only present in summer, because otherwise just people aren't there, the houses are empty, and it's a bit depressing. But you know, you can talk to them, and they'll say things, and that's about it. Here's a trader dude. Unfortunately, I don't have such a Pokemon. For those not familiar with other Pokemon games, this is a reference to, again, the 3rd generation, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Steven was the original champion of that region, and eventually became an endgame boss instead. And here in this house, we have Doom, Chaos, Hatred, Destruction. Don't let her deceive you. She's evil. She's trying to lure you into a false sense of security. Don't fall for it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. So yeah, Cynthia is the endgame boss. We will fight her at a later date. But for now, I'm going to go show off the whole riches escapade over at the mansion. I know it's been so long since we were here. But basically how these guys work is that you fight one trainer, and then the next day you fight 2 trainers, and the next day you fight 3, and then 4, and then 5, and I think it goes up to 6. But you have to refight all the trainers that you fought previously in order to get the next one. And essentially this serves as one big source of experience. You don't get any sort of prize for beating all these, and it takes a lot longer than it might be worth. But you will get a lot of experience. the first trainer starts with level 60s, one level 60, and then the last trainer has a full team of level 65, so that's a lot of experience. Add up all the trainers every day. That's a lot of experience. It is worth doing. If you feel like it, if you feel like you want the experience. Anywho, this here is the last one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, sir. And since he is the most powerful, I will be showing off his fight in totality. Also, since there isn't a whole lot of combat in this episode, and then you wouldn't really want to watch me just running around places. As you can see, level 65s. Tricky thing about these, actually, is that you are stuck with the same leading Pokemon for every fight, and you don't get a chance to heal in between. So it is kind of a gauntlet, and it's pretty tough if you're underleveled, and if you're doing it, you're probably underleveled, so it's worth pursuing. Anywho, Donphan, you may recognize Donphan as a second-generation Pokemon who was on Ash's team. Pretty boss. I used one in XD, and I highly recommend that you do so as well. Defensively powerful. Braviary. I mentioned, maybe last episode, maybe episode before, I'm not sure. This is an evolution of that eagle Pokemon that I can't really remember the name of. And I said we would see it in a much more glorious light in the near future, and lo and behold, here it is. It's a normal flying Pokemon, but it's American. It is an eagle, and it is awesome, and that's why it's cool. Yeah. I kind of wish it was available earlier on in the game, because I really do like its design. It's a little silly, but whatever. Also, that just fills me with rage right there, because he loves to do those two-turn moves. And, yeah, just waste some health, waste some time, yeah. Glorious fun. And that was probably just the random number generator, getting on my nerves, I guess. Anyway, I don't know how good Braviary is, but it's cool, so I'd recommend you use one. Lantern, another personal favorite of mine. Lantern was introduced in the second generation. Again, kind of annoying to get if you're not looking for it, if you don't know where it is. It is a water-electric type, actually, which is one of those cool, clever, weird type combinations that I wish we had more of. I used one in my shiny gold playthrough, and it was pretty rad. It is, again, defensively capable, like Donphan. I don't think it's quite as durable, but it's good. I like it. And again, because I like it, I would highly recommend that you use one. Because I want you to do everything that I tell you to do. Anyway, at this point I was running out of PP for some of the good moves, especially Andella, who has one attacking move. That is a significant issue, since you're going through all these fights without a chance to heal. Not only with HP, but PP can be a problem. So, maybe pack some ethers, not the berries, something like that. Don't go in unprepared. Haxorus, you've seen this guy. Haxorus, 5th generation Pokemon, Dragon type. You saw one in the 8th gym in Lucid City. The gym leaders had one. And, you know, it's a 3rd stage Dragon type. It's not to be underestimated. Even a Dragon type like Dragonite will wreck your shit if you let it, even if it's on the lower end of usefulness. Haxorus is good. Do not underestimate it. And I'm gonna get a bunch of comments saying, oh no, he's actually in underused tier. And I'm like, whatever, he's a Dragon type. He will wreck your shit. Never underestimate him. Anyway, Dragon types do go down to Ice types, but unfortunately, didn't really work out and had an unfortunate incident. So now Berlanga's just gonna have to figure things out on his own. Yeah, see, luckily, Berlanga is pretty durable. I mean, we just survived a Swords Dance Dragon Pulse with some HP to spare, so it's good, but as you can see, I can't outspeed it, and if I would get into a healing battle, if I tried to continue doing this hyper potion stuff, then apparently attempting to pursue. So I'm much better off reviving or healing somebody else on my team and hopefully killing with them. And I hope that was intentional, past self, because that is the correct strategy. Haxorus down. It's a dragon type, don't underestimate it, but you've dealt with it before. And again, you can just use attrition if you really need to. 10 growth. 10 growth is one of those Pokemon you're not entirely sure what the people were thinking when they designed it. Because it's an evolution of Tangela. Tangela being first generation, Tangrowth being introduced in 4th. And it's just like, what the hell? It's like a Sasquatch of vines? I don't even know. Regardless, that's out of the way, and now we can move on to Bisharps. We have seen so many Bisharps, haven't we? They fall to fire. Or fighting. Fighting is 4 times effective, but they are not the most durable creatures in the world, so don't worry too much. And that is Miles. It may look like it was kind of easy to take him down. It wasn't. I never failed, but it was more stressful than I would like to admit. But I'm admitting it now, so that was pretty stressful. Don't underestimate it. And this is a good source of experience, basically. You're fighting a bunch of high-level Pokemon that are trainer Pokemon. They'll give you a lot of experience. Come with some lucky eggs, you'll get a lot of experience. And that more or less wraps up Andella Town. You could go back to the ruins if you so felt, but that's just about it, other than the eventual Cynthia fight. So, now we can head south, on to whatever route number it is, I don't know. 14. Routes 14 and, I believe, 15, whatever the next one is, are often covered in fog. It's kind of random when they are and are not, but luckily, unlike the foggy route in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, it doesn't actually impede you in battle in any way. So it's just purely aesthetic, which I'm okay with. I mean, fog is fucking horrifying, horrible, unpleasant experience in gameplay, in battle. So, yeah, I'm glad it's not a factor. Anywho, the final Team Plasma Sage. I know it's been a while since we ran into one. Don't know why he's the only one over here in this side of the region, but regardless, here he is. And he gives you Bulk Up. I love this move. It increases both attack and defense 1 stage, and it would be great to have on Lilo, but it's incompatible. I didn't know that for the longest time, so I was looking forward to finally getting here, getting the TM, and then imagine my joy when I found out that it didn't actually work. Anywho, Looker here is here to arrest this final culprit, criminal person. And Looker will give you a special dialogue at the end once you've captured all the sages. And is still flying around doing his thing, and he still has his Dragon-type Pokemon with him. Looks like he's created a bond. Anywho, the rest of this route is basically a route. It does connect to something interesting, though. Something that we'll investigate in the future. And by the future, I mean later in this episode, but no, whatever. It's right over here. It's this entrance here to... Oh, right, flashback. Deep in the distant past, in Black version, I was in a rainstorm and I ran into this guy. Tornadus. You remember this guy from a couple episodes ago when I released him from his... Well, I didn't actually release him. When he went amok and I happened to be there. This is the annoying runner dude of Black version. Here's a Master Ball, or put him to sleep or something, or use cheat codes like I did. Capture him, basically. Because in order to do the special thing in this next area, you will want the roamer from your game, the one that is in your game, was released in your game, not traded from someone else, the exact one that is released, the one with your ID. And then, also, the roamer of an opposite type, of the opposite game, that you got, however. So here in white version, you haven't seen this in a while, Thunderous, and basically deal with him the same way you dealt with Tornadus. But yeah, in order to do this special thing, you will need the roamer from your game, that was released in your game, that was caught in your game, and then the other one that you traded from somewhere or something. And that will allow you to do fabulously cool things in this upcoming area that I'm blanking out on the name, so I would like to get to it so I can say the name as if I knew it the whole time. Abundant Shrine, ha! Yes, I knew it a split second before it appeared. But yes, this is something of a chill area. There are wild Pokemon and trainers, but certainly much more chill than your typical route. And here is where you will find the great Landorus, as you can see in this guy's dialogue. Landorus being the third in the weather trio of this region, and the ruler of the other two. Most trios have some sort of leader, or they will be led by a Pokemon of another trio. But, say for example, Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza. Rayquaza's the leader. But for Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, Lugia is the leader. That's just how things work. So once you weave your way through this kind of maze of stuff, use repels, I would recommend repels, you will get to a shrine, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but my past self has taken quite a while to get there. Now if you're planning to confront the Great Landorus, be sure to bring Pokeballs and your catching mechanisms, your Pokemon who catch things with relative ease, and a good chunk of Pokeballs, because he's kind of tricky to fight, tricky to catch. You're not using cheats. And that's your hint to bring the other two. And by bringing the other two, you can do this thing kind of reminiscent of the Celebi event in Gold Silver Crystal, since they both kind of tie to Shinto mythology. So walk up, save if you want to, get ready, and it's time to catch Landorus. Landorus here is a ground flying type, much like Gliscor, those guys. So they're neat. I didn't realize that he was part ground, so I was hoping to use Thunder Wave on him. Such did not work out. Flinching didn't help, but didn't work out. But anywho, I probably have mentioned this before, but Tornadus, Thunderous, and Landorus are much more tied to Shinto mythology and kami kind of ideas of Shinto mythology, rather than something just arbitrarily mythical, like dragons or something. So like you'll find shrines dedicated to them, and they're like nature spirits who cause the events in nature. More of a pagan kind of thing. I don't like using the term pagan, but it's kind of pagan. So yeah, paralyzing this guy through, say, a grass-type move, and lightning on the paralysis, grass-type powder, paralyzed powder, I don't remember what it's called, or putting him to sleep is a better option. And it's cool, it's actually, I like this guy. He's orange, so it's like provides a clear contrast to his two sub-dudes who are green and blue. And, yeah, be prepared to be patient here, because he does have a low catch rate. It's 3, much like many other legendaries in this game. So, be patient, save beforehand, or cheat. So yeah, Landorus is kind of the fertilizer of the fields. He helps things to grow, whereas Tornadus and Thundurus destroy things. A little morbid, but yeah. I do like that kind of balance idea, and that he's strong enough to combat the other two. Anywho, over here, you'll find some more grass, some more item business. But really, Landorus is the main appeal of this area. Trick Room! Trick Room was introduced in the 4th generation as a field spell, I guess. Field condition like rain or sandstorm or whatever, that causes the slowest Pokemon to move fast, to move first, and the fastest to move slow, and basically switches things up. And so it can be fun if you have a slow tank or something. I know a lot of people like to use them on Bronzong, although I don't know, Bronzong are silly, and for silly people, so. Then Flamethrower, this is where it's at. Flamethrower is classic fire move, 95 base power, going straight onto Cindy, will do massive damage. Highly recommended. I like it better than Fire Blast, but I'm keeping Fire Blast just in case. Anywho, that takes care of the Abundant Shrine, and now we can just continue heading south on to the next dwelling of sorts. Also, this guy. I'm not showing this fight, but screw that guy. He's so annoying. He killed me. So I have a vendetta against him. And yeah, basically the rest of this is just an ordinary route, unfortunately. 720 Pokemon. You can have more than a complete Pokedex, if you so desire. Anywho, this area up here, I'll get more into the intricacies of it in the next episode, but it is a special area. As you can judge by the name, it is associated with the color, and white does not have the same thing. But again, I'll explore that more in the next episode. But here we are now. I'm only keeping this fight because it has a Ludicolo, and I love Ludicolo. I want to use Ludicolo. Next time I'm playing through Emerald or something, I will use a Ludicolo. I don't care how much it sucks. I will use the Ludicolo. Ludicolo is a water grass type introduced in the 3rd gen, and is perhaps most notable for his role in Pokemon Coliseum, where there was a team of 4 of them dancing to mariachi music, and it was the best. It was so cool, I love it so much. He's a Fiesta Duck. He's not actually that good, to be honest, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he has a place on rain teams, but he's not actually that good. But he's so cool, I don't care. And he is a bit of a tricky type combination, if you are accustomed to type combinations. Because, I mean, water blocks out grass's fire weakness, and grass blocks out water's electricity weakness, so normally I just use flying types on him. Anywho, that takes care of that. And we will explore the rest of the city next time, but for now, I will see you guys next time.